and I trust we are all doing well. I trust we all had an amazing day. Wow, it's been so stressful for me today. I've got so much to do. I had so much to do, and network has been crappy. I don't know what's wrong with my network, but then I'm here. Today we're going to be having an amazing guest, an amazing author. He's here to tell us so much. He's here to teach us so much. He's here to share his wealth of wisdom. And then we're going to be reviewing his book, Essence. You're going to love it indeed. You're going to really love it. So get ready to grab wisdom, alright? Get ready. Get ready to grab wisdom. I'm going to be bringing him up shortly. Alright, he's here. He's here. So please send me a request so you can join in. Send me a request so you can join in. We can't wait to have you up. We can't wait to have you up. Woo. Hello. Good evening.
Okay, evening, afternoon, good morning, good night, depending on where you are. It's good to
Exactly,
be with you
good
here.
everything. Thank you so much. It's really nice having you up here. I'm really so
Yeah.
excited. Like my network
Eh?
has been giving me issues. I don't know, it just went out. Like I had to like move on
No,
to my
seriously.
next
I
line
don't know.
here.
The network is being
I'm
terrible
happy.
today.
I'm really happy because I've been like thinking, so I'm going to mix today. I'm going to mix today. No, it's not going to happen. But I'm happy that we're like, how's it been for you? How's the day been? How's work been? How's everything been?
Yeah. Very well, thank God. It's been very fine. We are pushing, we are moving forward, making progress every day.
Yes, I really like that. I like that we're making progress. That's what we're up for. Pursuing success is not easy. It takes a process. So we
I hope this network is so friendly with you today because it's just bluffing and I could barely
I hope
hear what you said the last. I hope my own network is very clear. Like you can
yes,
hear
it's
me
very
clearly,
clear.
right?
I can hear you clearly. It's very clear.
Okay. So from your end, it's a bit crappy, just like you said earlier.
All right. So it's beautiful having you up here. I see the amazing work you're doing. At least from your book Essence, it's so much inspiration. And would like to know more about you, sir. Would like to know you as Mr. Olaotan Jeremiah. What do you do? What's your purpose? What are you up for? Like, what do you do in general?
Okay, guys, my name is Olaotan Jeremiah. So, of course, my call name Jeremiah. So I am Olaotan Jeremiah, and I am an author, just like you said. I am an author, so I have some couple of books that I have authored, and of course, most of the books are published soft copies online and Amazon and other platforms. And of course, I am also into real estate. And I'm majorly a salesperson, so I sell real estate investments, I sell agricultural investment, cryptocurrency, and I also sell stocks. But majorly, I am into real estate investment, and I'm also a business strategist. And just like I said earlier, I have books that I have authored. So I believe we'll be talking about one of the books today. And of course, majorly, I have manuscripts. So many people, just like so many people have manuscripts that they have not published. So I still have many more that I have not published. A lot of topics, titles on this head.
Wow, wow.
So
You know what's beautiful about everything? Everything that you said, you know what's really amazing about it? What's really amazing is that everything is channeled to wealth. Like, I just see it that money is coming from everywhere. You talk about crypto, you talk about your books, you talk about real estate, like just money, money. And then from what we see on your bio, you see that you're a wealth creation instructor. Like, you help people to gain knowledge about how to make wealth and how to keep wealth. Like, would like for you to talk to us about it. Like, how do you do it? Like, how are you able to teach people how to grow wealth and save your wealth? Because it's one thing to grow wealth and keep it coming, keep it coming. How do you do it?
absolutely. Now, depending on what your idea is of, I mean, of what wealth means, but of course, wealth means different things to different people. To some people, it simply means when they can be able to afford anything. I mean, afford anything. That is wealth to them. To some people, it is when they don't have to work again, yet they have money to spend. That is wealth to them. Then to another person, wealth simply means the ability for them to live the kind of life that they really would desire to live, like their dream. And attaining that dream to them is wealth. And of course, to some people, wealth is like a progression, is like a journey to them. Like every time they are able to set a goal, and once they achieve it, to them they are living, large. They are living wealthy. They are living a successful life. While to some people, it is the ability to acquire assets, to have more assets than they have, cash in banks or in ends, whatever the case is. So it is having assets to them. But then, what I majorly talk about to people, and of course to people in my community, is the fact that wealth can actually come from every aspect of life. As long as you have, just like the World Health Organization said that health means a state of total well-being. So also I define wealth as, a state of how well-being you live a wealthy lifestyle. You talking about your health, you are healthy. Talking about finance, you have money, you have assets. Talking about family, you have a good relationship with your that have money,
With everyone.
but then their marriage is suffering for it. And I'm not talking about those that are very successful in business, yet they don't have a home. So I'm talking about somebody who has a total, a lifestyle that people can, desire. In your marriage, you are doing fine. Finance, you are doing fine. Your health is intact. And in this side of the world, we don't really pay so much attention to our health. So that is one of the things that I really talk about to people in my community, because I believe that once you can achieve all of these things, and it is said that health is wealth. So of course, just like I said, it is not only on health matters, but it to have a total life. Your soul, your body, your spirit are all intact. Then you are living a wealthy life.
Mm.
Okay, then you asked me how I help people achieve all of this. Now,
Yeah.
firstly, everything is education. Most people go to school to learn. Most people go to school to obtain a degree, or let me call it a end of the day. Most people don't learn about finance. So Talking about wealth creation, it begins with experts in medicine. We don't really go to school to learn about our finance, our personal finance. So wealth creation begins with financial education. Once you can achieve anything you want to achieve from any angle, because most people we were all raised to just approach our finances the way we feel it should, rather.
Whichever way it counts.
Our parents taught us. Okay. So our parents did not really teach us about money. So we just wake up and then we start, learning how to spend. We even learn to spend email list of people where they subscribe, of course, on a daily basis on Instagram and on Telegram, where people just come to learn about their finance. So it begins with education first, and then we now begin to look into business, because by which wealth can be created. Yes, as much as I believe in 9 to 5, as much as I don't castigate it, as much as I also help the people who are attached to 9 to 5 to understand that they have the best, not the that is 9 to 5 is one of the vehicles, it's not the only vehicle. So but then I also tell them, if you want to really create wealth, you must learn to engage in business. Owning a business, building a business is one of the things or areas by which I also talk to people in my community. That is why I also organize wealthy business conference for people to learn more on how to do business. And if you must build a business, you must build a business that meets the need, that meets specific need in the community, in the society, or in the at large. So business, and of course I talk about investment. As a business person, you should invest. While you invest into your business, you also invest into other people's business. But of course, investing into other people's business is not the first thing. You first invest into your business. And what are some of the things of the investments you do? Now, if you have a business, that I have been part of startups that have grown from $0 to $1 billion, and I can tell you that I have learned so much from being a member of the organization, and I can say the things that were the things that were done right. And of course, I have been part of organizations that did not work. I mean, businesses that did not work, the business folded up, and everybody is just fine. So I know what should be done, what should not be done, how the one that grew into multi-billion-dollar business grew, and then how the one that failed. So it's not every business that can make their owner wealthy, but every business can actually is a potential for wealth creation actually. So in the real sense of it, businesses are needed to be built, to be run, for wealth to be created, and for business owners, they also need to invest. And so if you have a business that has been running for 3-4 years or 5 years, and you are still running it in a rented apartment, then the business owner is not yet getting it right. Because one of the ways to invest into your business, back into your business, is to actually invest into assets. Like ensure that if you are running a business, have a goal that in the next 5 years, your business location should be owned by your business. Like you should own the business location rather, so that you don't have to pay pay rent. You don't
Yeah.
have to continue to pay rent. And once you can achieve
Right.
that, you can achieve that anywhere else in the world.
Amazing. Like you already held a seminar. You already held a seminar. I'm really amazed. I'm really amazed. This goes to show how much people will gain coming to learn from you, right? And I'll urge anybody who's listening to make sure that you connect with Mr. Olaito so that he shares the amount of knowledge you've heard by yourself. You could see that you're going to be gaining so much. And now let's move straight to essence. Let's move straight to essence. What inspired the book? It's such a lovely book. It's such a lovely book, very inspiring. Teaches people on the way to go with life. And I want to know what inspired the book. What inspired essence?
Okay, thank you. Essence. How to find and live your purpose.
Mm.
Uh, I'll start with a story. I grew up in church, and so I grew up learning or hearing rather. I grew up hearing about purpose, 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 and as if that wasn't enough, everywhere I turn, every seminar, every event, every program, everyone I talk to, every book I read, I still find the purpose, discover your purpose, because that is the shortcut to success in life. And then I began to ask questions. I began to, read books. I began to attend seminars that teaches about how to discover purpose. But the more I attended all of these seminars, the more I became confused because I wasn't discovering it. And so I started praying. Like I started praying, asking God, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And in all honesty, I found an answer when I decided to ask God about what my purpose in life is. But before then, I want you to know that there are so many people. I mean, before I talking about the essence now, I want you to know that there are so many people, most people. Now, I love to use the word most people because most people are not actually successful. Most people are not wealthy. Most people are poor. Most people are not healthy. Most people are not, doing what they ought to do. Most people come up with goal and they don't, pursue it. Most people desire to marry and, they don't get to acquire the information or the knowledge that is needed to have a successful home. So we should not just be like most people. Don't be like most people. I don't want to be like most
Yeah.
people. So because yes, most people don't really get to do what they said they would do. And most people have not discovered purpose. How do I know? Now, most people are out there who are just living life by chances. They, live life by chances. Whatever comes their way on a daily basis, that's what they go for. You see somebody who is
Mm.
accustomed to 9 to 5, and then you ask the person, when are you going to retire from this job? The person does not even have a clue. That is why you see, if you have a purpose, if you have discovered a purpose, you would know from the day you got the job, you would know when you will leave. You would know when you should resign. Because whether you like it or not, if you don't resign, you will be asked to go one day. And I tell people that, okay, what if your boss sold the company? What if there was a merger? What if the new owner said they don't want to continue with the staff? You will be asked to leave. Now we have seen a lot of that happen in the banking sector, that you just get to lay people off without preparing for it. They don't get to prepare for it. They just come to office in the morning and then they see a letter, or they cannot even log into their system again, and before you know it, you are asked to go. So most people don't have a plan, and I don't really blame most people because they don't have a plan. I blame them for not having a purpose. You see, if you have a purpose, if you have discovered your purpose, you would know what to do and how to do what you ought to do. So for the book Essence, it was inspired by the fact that I needed to discover my purpose. So I found the purpose, and when I found the purpose, I then decided to put it together in a book. For some people,
It's
okay, if
just
you are
coming up as well.
I think yeah, the network was I wasn't hearing
Yeah,
it.
it's just coming up and coming up. Yeah, but it's fine. Yeah, my other question is, how is the journey of being an author? How has the journey been for you? I know you've written a lot of books apart from Essence, which you're going to be
Okay,
sharing soon. So people who need to get those books can get them. But how has the journey been so far as an author?
okay, well, it's a good thing to put your thoughts together. I always
Wow.
tell people that every good puts something to paper. Everybody should put something to paper, and the reason is this:
Yeah.
everybody has a story to tell. Everybody have a story to tell. If you did not write about a topic or anything for me, yeah, say or mention that I see writing as something that I was born with. I was born with writing. I just love to write. I discovered it when I was in secondary school. I discovered that whenever we were writing notes in the class, so we're always in a hurry to, just finish writing. We're always
Okay.
interested in who is going to finish first. And one thing was, unique about my own secondary school because I went to a public secondary school. So I would help my teachers to write on the board. I will still write my own notes into my own notes. At the same time, people will still collect my book. Me that I wrote on the board though, people will still collect my book to go home and write their own notes. But you know what?
Okay.
I didn't see it as work, as too burdensome. I was just finding pleasure writing. So I would write, in short, I was always going to the staff room to go and collect my teacher's book and then come to the class and write for the students to copy into their notes. And after that, I will now write in my own book. But I was just finding this, interesting. I was finding pleasure writing. I never knew that someday I was going to write my own book. But another thing characterized my growing up as a teenager. I love to read books. I love to read books. I read books from different authors, from different field. I read books a lot. So I don't books. I buy books. Buying books. I have today. I have a lot of books. Never knew. I was just buying them. I was reading books, and then one day I went to Bible Wonderland in Lagos. I went to buy books, and something just dropped into my mind that day. That one day I was going to write my own book. I was going to become an author.
Mm.
That was it. That was it, and
Okay.
just kept nursing it that I was going to become an author one day. And God so good, I met a mentor of mine who is an author. As at that time, he had authored about 15 books. And then I became very close to him. I was listening to him, I was reading his books, I bought his books, I was listening to him whenever he's going somewhere to speak. And one day he now said he was going to do a seminar for would-be authors, those that want to become authors. And I was part of the seminar. And that was how I got to know how to put my book together, how to put my thought together as manuscripts and then publish it myself. So I went back, wrote the book, and that was how, in short, I must be sincere with you. I wrote the book, I think about 90 something page plus book in 1 month. In 1 month. I'm talking about writing. I wrote the entire book in 1 month. And of course, the book was written for students. It was titled Living an Effective Campus Life. living an effective campus life, because I discovered that school is another world entirely, and if you must maximize your stay in school, then you must learn or know some things. And so those are the things I put together in that book, Living an Effective Campus Life. I wrote that book, and I of course passed it to a friend of mine who edited it, and then I gave it to an uncle who published with the book, who printed it. And that was how the book became a book, and that was how I became an author. And since that day till now, I am still writing. In short, any day I wake up and I don't write is not a fulfilled day for me. I write on a daily basis. If you check my social media and I write on a daily basis. That is why today I have settled in, to write more on personal finance, on wealth creation, so that I can have it
Okay.
organized. But of course, just like I said earlier, I was born in the church, into the church, and I have been a Christian days, that I have also on spiritual things. In short, I did that for 5 years consecutively. I was writing every day for 5 years. I tagged it scriptural knowledge. I was writing, explaining the scriptures verse by verse. And as at the time I stopped that, I had wrote about 5 different books of the Bible, verse by verse, like explaining it verse by verse on a daily basis. I did that for 5 years, and now so I'm more focused now on personal finance. So I write on personal finance, of course, still related to the scriptures, and how on the plan of God for our lives, the plan of God for our finances, for our wealth, creation, or for our becoming wealthy dream. So being an author has been very, very interesting for me. I have written so many, I have so many manuscripts, I have written so many articles, and I find it, pleasurable writing all of those things. And of course, because I have become an author, I have experience, I have also raised other people, I have trained other people to also become authors. I've trained them to on how to publish it themselves, and just like I said earlier on some other platforms. So I've also taught people how to publish their books on Amazon. So becoming an author is a very interesting, journey for me. And I just like I said earlier, this should become an author. Everybody should write their own story. If you don't know how to write it, it's just a matter of asking how. It's a matter of asking
Yeah.
how, and you will definitely find the right answer.
Time is short, but I'd like to know what you have to say to writers who are presently writing or prospective authors. What do you have to say to them? Like, what are your words for them?
No, I didn't get that. My words for who?
Writers, prospective authors, people who are currently writing or people who want to go into writing. What do you have to say to them?
Okay, well, today there are so many, opportunity around writing. You see so many people who are writing to make money. I mean, bloggers, so they write for blogs. There are people who write for magazines. There are people who write to, for PLR, that's private label rights copies. So there are so many opportunities writing now. For me, I'm going to encourage as many who are looking, and I must be sincere at this moment. Let me just say this. See, writing today is no longer difficult. In short, it's no longer difficult to become an author. You can become an author in 1 month. Now, this is what I meant. There are so many people who have written books today that they didn't do the writing. They just, contracted or gave the job to somebody on Fiverr.com, and then the person puts the book, become the market become theirs, and then they published it. So they are now author. And then there are other artificial platforms like AI and dictate what you want. The robot will write you a whole book that you don't even have to sit down and write, but the robot will write you a whole book. That is also another option. Then there is also another option of you, talking. You are just talking to your phone, and then your phone is recording it, or that's one is recording the audio, and then you now give the audio clip to somebody to write it for you. I mean, to what do we call this? Which word do we use?
Oh,
To transcribe. Yeah, that's the word. If you set it to your intonation, Nigerian English, and it will be typing it out, the writing. You don't need to write. Today, I don't do pen writing. Like, I don't write with biro today. I first book. I wrote it with a biro. I wrote in a book. But today, I type directly. Like, from my head, I type directly. But what am I saying? You can be talking to your phone, and then it will be typing it out. So, and before you know it, your book is compounded. If you force yourself to write, you will experience writing blocks. If you force yourself to write, you will experience writing blocks. Now, if you allow it to come to you naturally, you will just find it interesting, writing smoothly, writing without, But of course, there are days that you don't even feel like writing anything at all. But I tell you this, if you would just want to find it, easy, just read more books, research. But please don't research because you want to put it in your own book. Research because you want to develop yourself. I'm with you. Your network is your network is not loving you.
I'm just thinking of how much I already missed. I just hope that I find all that you said that I wasn't getting. I just hope I find it. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing all that you have. We'd like to have you again. Hear more with us because this is just
I'll be so glad to be back.
Can you let us know your social media platforms? I've done from Instagram here. Other social media platforms I've done from Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Simply Olaotan Jeremiah. Once you can search Olaotan Jeremiah, I want to believe that my name will pop up, and if you can see this person, this picture, this image, then you'll be able to know that is. And of course, just like I said earlier, I have a community on Telegram. It is titled Becoming Wealthy Africa. And the purpose of that community is to simplify wealth education and acquisition processes. So if you think you need to learn more about wealth creation, you need to educate yourself on wealth creation and the acquisition process, then everybody is invited to be a part of it.
You connect with him on any level on Instagram, send a DM. If there is anything you need to know or there are questions you need to ask, you need to gain clarity, please do not hesitate. Run, go connect with him and get answers. And then you could get Essence at Magesh online store. You could just type on your browser Magesh and then you see the store. Get the book. It's very cheap. It's not expensive. You could get for yourself, you could get for your friends, your family, everybody. And make sure you stay with us, follow us as my guest every of our social media platforms to get to see more authors. We're going to be having Mr. Jeremiah again, be sharing
Once,
more of his values with us. All right. So,
yeah, it's fine. It
yeah.
will be a pleasure to be back.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. It was nice
Thank
having you.
you.
It was nice having you. Bye. Until we meet
Bye.
again.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you.